Okay, awesome. So it looks like most of our students have joined in. I see the numbers slowing down a little bit. So I just want to say welcome to Premier 2022. You have joined the Journalism, PR, and New Media presentation today. My name is Poppy. I'm one of our admissions counselors here. And I'm going to just go ahead and let Ms. Grip take it away with a couple of her students in the program and kind of talk to you guys a little bit about journalism, PR, and new media.
Okay, perfect. Well, welcome everybody. We're so glad to have you here today with us to hopefully answer some of your questions about journalism, public relations, and new media, and what some of the opportunities are in our department. Joining me today is Mary and Clara. They are our students in our department, and so they'll be able to answer, I guess, really what it's really like to be in the journalism, public relations, and new media department. So let me go ahead and go through. As I said, I just gave you our names, but there they are. And later at the end, if you want our contact information, we'll also provide that to you. If you would like to communicate with us individually, we'll be more than happy to do so. So the journalism major has actually 5 sequences in the department, and we're very excited because we are in the process right now and have just added broadcast journalism. But what that means is in the department, when you come in, you have basically 3 core courses that all of our students take. During those core courses, it will help you to decide because content from each one of these areas will be included, and it will help you kind of decide, if you haven't already made a decision, about what sequence is best for you. So the sequences that we offer are news editorial, which is traditional journalism. And we tend to think of that as print, but it's not just print. It's a lot of online journalism, which is very popular today and where there are a lot of readers. Then there's also public relations, which is basically learning to communicate with specific audiences that are important to a for-profit or nonprofit organization. In other words, the communications with their audiences is very important to them because their success really hinges on that. And so that's what public relations is. And then advertising, I think everybody probably knows what advertising is. Photojournalism, and then, as I said, broadcast journalism. And then also all of our majors will choose a minor, and that's a minor outside of our department. So that means you get to go out and explore really another subject that you are interested in and that could potentially help you in your major. So let's say, for example, your news editorial or your broadcast, you might want to be a political science major, international studies, minor. So that might be something that would lend, obviously, skills and knowledge to the area that you want to work in. Our graduates, they have careers in multimedia journalism, online and digital media, and that can be, when you're talking about content management for online and digital media, you're talking about things like governments, you're talking about things like working in school districts, obviously corporations. So there's all sorts of entities out there that are looking to hire online and digital media content specialists. In all of these areas, depending on what sequence you choose, you will have experience in when you leave our department. There's also public relations in schools, whether it's schools like Baylor University, a college, or whether you're talking about independent school districts or even private schools. Then there's nonprofit public relations, corporate public relations, sports PR, PR and advertising agencies, photo or video business owners. We have a number of students who've gone out there and actually started their own businesses in photography and video and are doing quite well. There's also political media relations. If you are interested in working for a television station, working in broadcast media, there's also the opportunity to be a producer, reporter, all of those different areas that broadcast journalism employs. There's also print publications. Yes, there are still traditional print, whether it's magazines or newspapers out there that you may be interested in. Also social media, and again, that's social media really management. And that has to do with a lot of different organizations, whether it's profit or nonprofit or schools or all of these kind of areas we've talked about. Almost all of them have social media managers. Then broadcast news, and as I said, that's relatively new. We are just developing and have started that new sequence in our department. And so, yes, there's lots of opportunities out there in the broadcast area. So, and then video production and editing. So there's a lot of different areas that you can go into with a journalism, public relations, or new media, and you can definitely tailor it to fit whatever your career goals are. Speaking of goals in our department, our goal is really to make you the most employable that you can possibly be in the area that you want to go into. Now, we know as experienced folks in journalism, PR, and new media, we know that oftentimes that means you need to be kind of cross-trained, cross-educated in different areas, because although you may be interested in, print journalism, we know that, for example, you're probably going to do something in line with having to post on social media. You may also even have to do some video. And so we make sure that all of our students are thoroughly trained really in all of these areas and have some experience in these areas, and therefore have a very full resume when they graduate. What do students like about public relations and new media and journalism? Well, I'm going to turn that over and let our students tell you a little bit about the things that they like about our department. So if you ladies would like to tell them a little bit about what you like, what your experiences are.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mary Watson. I am a junior journalism major here at Baylor. I have a public relations concentration, and I also have 2 minors, one in business administration and another in corporate communications. I'd say one of my favorite things about the department would be our small classes and just the access that you do have to professors at every level from freshman year until now. I've kept up with the same professors. And even the first professor that I met when touring Baylor, I've had a class with her until every semester until this past year. And I actually had coffee with her yesterday. And really just the connections that you build and the relationships that you have within this department are really beneficial for networking. And I really think that the resources that professors do provide with help with advising and just choosing the right classes for you are really helpful. And just the access that you have to explore different areas of journalism. I've learned so much about graphic design. We have access to Adobe applications such as Premiere, Lightroom, InDesign, that sort of thing. And so I really just feel fully equipped with so many skills beyond just writing and editing. I've had the opportunity to take photography and design classes, graphics classes, and even the access to internships within the department has been fantastic.
Yeah, awesome. My name's Clara. I'm a junior as well. I'm a journalism major on the public relations track. My minors are in corporate communication and leadership studies. One of the things I love about the journalism department is there's lots of ways to practice your craft and try them all out before you graduate. Mary Watson and I took a class together where we wrote for the Lariat, which is our school newspaper. And that was a really awesome opportunity just to get a lot of practice, a full semester of writing consistently for the school newspaper. There's also awesome experiences of getting to go abroad. I'm actually going abroad this summer with the journalism department. And that's a very accessible thing to do. There's lots of scholarships available. And speaking of scholarships, there's lots of scholarships available in the department as well, which we have both really appreciated. And that's something that's very specific to the journalism department is every semester they give, I don't know the specific amount of money, but there's lots of money that they give to students that are just in the department. Lots of them you don't even have to apply for. And that has just really blessed us, honestly, that it's been easier to
really like a community, I think.
Yeah,
is the difference with this department. You just feel very connected with your professors. Baylor has a 26-to-1 student ratio, but within the department, I've never usually had a class above 15 students. So you really are building relationships with people around you. And Claire and I met through the department. We're from other sides of the country, so we never would have met if it weren't for, I'm from Florida, she's from Washington State, so we never would have met if it weren't for the department. But we've had classes together every semester since freshman year. You really are just building those relationships, and you don't feel uncomfortable or nervous to go up to those professors, ask for help, ask for what class should I take, what minor should I have, what do you think is the best for me, because that benefit is that you stay with those teachers until you graduate.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And our department honestly is just like a family. It's
Yeah.
like a home. Like it's very everyone's helping each other. You can ask anyone questions. And our professors are just really approachable, like
Right.
Mary Watson said, and you take them multiple times. So by the end, you do have that relationship with them, and it's really special.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. You guys are very complimentary, and I really appreciate that. And I think you did an excellent job. Not that I'm a student at Baylor. I was at one time many years ago, but I feel the same way about Baylor. I think it very much is kind of a community, and it's a place where we kind of all get to know each other. And I think students kind of have a tendency to gravitate to whatever professors are in the area that they're interested in going into, and form those relationships, help them network for careers, decide what classes, just like you guys said. So great job. I appreciate you sharing that with the students. And you guys can ask them any questions when we come to the end here. So one of the things they mentioned was small class sizes. Yes, we definitely, our typical class size is 15 students. We have a couple of classes that go a little bit above that to about 20, but not many. Most of them are 15. So that means that professors such as myself get to spend a lot of one-on-one time with you, helping you with different things, whether it's a design class. For me, it's like magazine and feature writing. I meet with my students individually. Mary can testify to that, that I meet with my students individually to talk about their writing and to help them in any way I can. So we try to keep it that way because we know how very important it is to your education, and really you feeling included and feeling important and feeling like that you're getting absolutely the most that you can out of all the faculty members. That you guys also mentioned the study abroad program, and yes, we have had a study abroad program for many years. I led it at one time. We had a Baylor in Florence program. Then we moved to the Baylor in Budapest. This semester we're doing Baylor in Ireland. Just because of some of the things that are going on in the world, we've chosen a place that we think is safe and still something beneficial for our students to be able to get really that, as we say in the slide, that broader world view, to kind of understand that this is a big world, but in many ways it's a very small world. And the more we can understand our neighbors all over the world, the better communicators we will be, the better we will be at our jobs, and then just more informed citizens that we will be. So we do offer that. Then also, as they said, networking, and I said networking, yes, we have a lot of student organizations. For example, we have the Public Relations Student Society of America, and I think it was last year that they celebrated their 50th anniversary of the chapter at Baylor. And then we have the National Association of Black Journalists. We also have the Society of Professional Journalists. We've got, and like I said, a number of student organizations that students can get involved in. Through those organizations, they can become leaders, organizers of that group. And then we also bring in a lot of speakers from really all over the United States to come in and talk with the students. Again, that's another great networking opportunity as well. So real world experiences, yes, we are very big in our department on you getting real world experiences. For example, we encourage you and we require you to have internships in public relations and news editorial. And that is really possible as far as news broadcast and news editorial. That's through our student media department. And that we offer not only a print publication called The Lariat, but we also have that online. And then we also have LTV and Lariat TV News. And so students have the opportunity to be involved in any of those areas. And then we also have the Roundup, which is our yearbook. And then we have Focus Magazine, which is published once every semester. So you can see, even within our department, we offer a lot of opportunities to gain experience. Most of those positions that I just mentioned within the student media, those are actually paid positions. And some of the leadership roles actually have scholarships tied to them. So that's an excellent area to get experience, make a little money, or get a scholarship. And we've had lots of students that, have not only, interned with us, but go outside and intern. I have a picture here of Madison Miller, who graduated, I want to say about 5 years ago, and she interned with the Today Show. And she is now working for Hearst Media, and she is working in the DC office, and you can see her there. That's her now, not right this minute, obviously, but that's her recently in the White House briefing room. So as you can see, our students kind of go far and wide with their jobs, but that's because they get those real world experiences really through our department and through the networks that they connect with through faculty, through people who visit campus, that sort of thing, in order to be able to get that job experience before they ever graduate. So literally they have experience when they leave our department. The professors, classes are taught by professors with a lot of real world experience. I happen to be one of those. I owned a publishing company for 16 years, have been in the publishing industry for 30 years, and have worked as an editor all of those years. And so, yes, I bring a lot of writing and editing experience to my classes. And all of our professors really have some sort of experience, whether they are working on research. Most of them been involved in some way in our profession. And then also that brings up the point that we have a lot of professors who are involved in, nationally important research that they are doing, and they help involve students, get students involved in that as well. So we have a lot to offer. I think in the department, I want to say there's about 15 full-time faculty, and we have about 250 majors. So you can see we've got plenty of professors per student ratio to be able to reach out, help students, work with students, and assist them when it comes time to look for a job. Now, one of the things that you guys brought up was scholarships, and yes, it says 200K. We're now up to 250K in department scholarships. So if you think about it, if we have about $250,000 and we have about 250 majors in our department, you can see that that's if we just divided it all out, that'd be $1,000 a year for every student. Now, of course, not every student applies for a scholarship, so it's going to be usually more than that, more than $1,000. And we base those scholarships on need, academics, a number of different things. And so students are required to apply for those scholarships every year. We also set aside money for incoming freshmen. So that means you guys who would be incoming freshmen, I guess next fall or the coming fall, you want to make sure that you apply for scholarships within our department in the January of the year, starting the January of the year before you come into Baylor. We make those decisions in March and April usually, and so you would get a letter from our department telling you what money you would be awarded. All right, I think I've done enough talking. I'd love to hear from you guys and see what questions you might have for myself or Claire or Mary. So I'm ready. You guys are to take some questions. Not sure. Let me check and see if I have anything in the chat. It looks like I do.
Okay, well, if there are no questions from our students, then I guess we're pretty good to go ahead and end this session, unless you guys have any last minute statements or just things you want to say about your program at all.
I think I just wanted to say one thing that I just love so much about the department. I'm actually in an internship class right now, specifically within the PR concentration. I'm actually working for the American Football Coaches Association, and just the opportunity to work outside the classroom and then have guidance and mentorship about how to handle conversations with a supervisor, about how to ask for paid internship, that sort of thing, or how to ask for references on a resume. Really, regardless of what you'd be interested in within the journalism department, the skills and tools that you gain through the relationships that you'll have with professors and just the access to internships, scholarships, everything that Professor Grip said, it really is nothing like I've ever seen but it's also just such a smaller department as well. So you're really just building those relationships, which is just so important. So.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome.
Yes, if you need to contact or reach out to any of us, I can provide, let me see, I will type in the notes. My telephone number. Where I can be reached if students have any questions. I can also, let me give you my email too. That's a good idea. My email is different from my name. Don't let that throw you. I've been at Baylor forever, so I actually have my maiden name here.
Okay, awesome. Well, while you're doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and say to the students, thank you guys for joining. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day in Premier, and hope to see you in a couple more sessions later on. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.